The power of the word. And isn't it amazing that how God knew all this before you even got to where you got to be?
That's
You see
right.
what I'm saying?
That's
Because he
right.
knows you before you get there.
Mm.
And that's another important thing that's being imparted that you don't even know that you're imparting. You
Right.
see, with
That's
everything
right.
that you just spoke, you are imparting into young women through your handbook, through your voice, through your speaking, you're imparting that into them. Now, I'm going to say this. I believe there should be, like they say, Black girls magic or whatever, the Brock or whatever. There
Right.
should be a national campaign called The
Mhm.
Secret Garden.
Amen.
Okay. And I believe that. And I believe that because regardless of where you come from or how you get there or whatever, you need a foundation that stands on rock, that's built on rock, right? And so that's amazing. So I'm gonna be praying for that to happen. You can call it any kind of name you want to call it,
Amen.
but there need to be a awakening.
Amen.
And so, this is what talking to you is an awakening for people to listen to something different than people talking at you, but talking with you. See,
Right.
that's what I'm
Right.
saying. So, one of the things that I wanted to also ask you about the book, are you going to do a national tour?
Well,
Because
right
you
now,
know you rated like 5 or 6 or 7, on Amazon. I was like, oh, everybody else is 3.5.
right. Hey, I appreciate that. Actually, I've got a working in public relations with someone, and just going wherever the message takes me. My whole heart is for, and I want girls to know, no matter where they are, what they've done, no, even if they've sexually experienced or no experience at all, it doesn't matter. It's about today, taking sex off the table. I call it locking up your garden, because as soon as you do that, you can able to set your standards and you qualify people coming into your life. And so I'm just believing God. I want to be a good steward over the message, Violetta. That's what I asked God to do, because He gave it to me so long ago, and I've been pretty much just dragging my feet, like one step at a time. And so I'm at a place now. I just want to empty out, fulfill my potential, do my life assignment. I've heard this lady Terry Savelle Foy says it's like we have a clipboard in heaven with our name on it,
Right.
things that we're called to do on the earth before we leave here. And I just know sexual abstinence is a thing that He's put inside of me. It won't go away. As much as I try to just do that on the side,
Stick to
it's
the
like
sides
it's still done,
and go right
and
back
it's
in.
like you got to get it out here. And so I'm just literally, I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm just literally trusting Him one step at a time, Violetta, because He knows how I'm made. I'm a cheerleader, but I want to follow His steps. And so I'm excited about this journey because it's totally out of my comfort zone. I'm a pastor's wife. I cheer the people on. I have a women's ministry within the church, but this is outside, and so, and it's not a popular message. And
And
that's
so
the thing.
that's the
Come on.
thing. It's not a popular message, and that's the reason why I say it's something that needs to be said, and it's something that needs to be done. It's called, I call it breaking generational curses
Come on.
because no one ever told me that. But
Right.
with my daughter, I did break that generational
Yeah.
curse because I put that in her spirit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But I'm not. I didn't know that at the time that I was doing it. I just knew for me that that would be important to her. You,
Right.
you see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so I tried to instill that in her spirit so that she would have knowledge of that and understanding of that. Because nobody ever really sat down and told me that. And for you to be told that like in the 6th grade, that was a call on your life.
Yeah.
And like you say, well, you have a husband, you had to raise children, you have to do things decent and in order. So
Right.
that's just part of the order. But with the pandemic, it gave a lot of people time to sit down and do some things that they weren't able to do, and to come up with some new things that they needed to do. um, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your youth program in the church. Do you have a thriving youth program, or is it a quiet youth program? What kind of program you
It,
got going on?
it's it's thriving. I say thriving because it's growing as our church is growing.
Mhm.
And now we used to meet on the second and fourth Sundays of each month, just allowing kids to grow because we have them sitting in the sanctuary, kind of worshiping with their parents, and then we pull them aside every second and fourth Sunday in the afternoons just to spend time and connect. But what God has given us an interesting idea is during the pandemic, when church was closed, we started these videos. We call them, so our ministry is called Rise
Mhm.
Student Ministries, and so we call these wise up moments where we teach wisdom within a 10-minute snippet of a video. So I myself or one of our team leaders will give a word, give a personal story, just a little snippet of wisdom. And we have these huddles where we'll have, based on middle school girls, high school girls, middle school boys, high school boys. And what we have is a leader assigned to each of them, kind of like a small group model.
Right. Uh-huh.
And what we do is we reach out to our, like I had the high school girls, and what we have them do is watch the video because it's on YouTube. And then we will have a go-to meeting with them. And we just kind of catch up, see how they're doing, because kids today under so much pressure with now with, online school, virtual
Right.
school, and a lot of kids are like exhausted. And so this is a way for us to check in with them, see how they're feeling, check the mentals of the, as they say, their mental health, and just catch up and see what God's doing in them. We do a devotional with them, and then we ask questions about the video that we just uploaded. And so that's our way to keep them engaged, use technology to kind of still see their countenance,
Right.
because at church everybody's got the mask on, but
With
on a
the-
go-to meeting, it's like, hey, what's going on with you? Tell me what's on your heart. And so within this small huddle, as we call them, the kids get to engage with each other, engage with us as a leader. And so we're thriving that way. We're still doing that. We're back at church,
Mhm.
socially distanced, spread out, but we're still doing our rise huddles online. And so that's been, we've really enjoyed that. They really appreciate, because kids, their attention span is so short and they're all zoomed out and, video out. So the 10-minute snippet has just been really ideal,
Very
and they've
cool and
taken
to
to
the
it.
point.
Yes,
Amen. That's interesting because that's what kids need. They need interaction, but they don't need so much of it because they're overloaded right now.
exactly.
They're overloaded, and so that really keeps them grounded and from being so overloaded and whatnot.